right. I am Pumpkin Jack, and today we're coming out of the Ghastly Hallows. I am accompanied with...
This is Red.
And Bolt.
And tonight we're having our Halloween party ahead of time over at Hull House.
Oh, that takes a lot out of me.
Yeah, it does. Today the subject is 1988's Night of the Demons. One of my personal favorite horror movies of all time, because it's also one of my favorite personal Halloween movies of all time. Favorite Halloween movies of all time. For you guys, I asked you guys to watch this one. I pretty much petitioned for it like a politician does over at the Hill, again and again.
Sure did.
And again and again and again, until everybody eventually cracked and just gave in to me. Make the Ghastly Hallows great again. Somebody make a acronym out of that. We can make a cult out of it. Sell some red and black hats.
Nope.
You filibustered our motion against, so we watched it. Yeah.
Yep. I just kept on talking and talking and talking until eventually somebody listened to me. And we were watching this one. So, I'll give a quick rundown of this film. We're not going to run into review territory, Android. What
Why do you keep saying that? I haven't done that in weeks.
Good. I have to keep bringing it up so you don't do it.
Do I have to bring up the fact that you keep going overboard?
No, I mean, I was going to suggest that I just write a Roger Ebert style review and just read it on air, and that's the podcast.
I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying yes.
Are you going to give
one thumb up?
Fuck, this is why I hated them when I was a kid. Fucking Siskel and Ebert.
Did you hate Siskel and Ebert or Ebert and Roper?
Siskel and Ebert.
Okay.
Hated. And then when Siskel died... Sorry. Well,
Nothing
Roper
against
was all right.
Roper.
Roper was all right.
Roper's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like Roper.
But
I have a really good book by him.
Yeah, he was cool. I hated Gene Siskel more than I hated the other guy, Roger Ebert. And then, well, fuck both of those guys. They hated horror movies.
When we talk about Orphan, there's a Roger Ebert review that I want to reference in that episode. But that is forthcoming.
The one film, never mind. Fuck that guy too. Okay.
Let's just talk about things that we're not going to talk about for the whole podcast.
Yeah, fuck Roger Ebert. Fuck Siskel and Ebert. Fuck Gene Siskel. All right, they're probably sitting down in hell right now, listening to me come over here and start talking about these movies because they were notorious horror haters. You know how bad they were? They inspired a character called the Cinema Snob because they just one day decided to pick apart Friday the 13th Part 4. All it is killing, they said. And they forgot to ignore the quirky self-esteem arc, the romance, all this other stuff that was just there. Growing up, coming of age stories, all interrupted by Jason Voorhees. Fucking Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert.
I mean, Friday the 13th Part 4 is like small potatoes. That's the sort of thing where it's like if you're reviewing it for quality, you're kind of missing the point.
Even though it was a good quality film.
I haven't seen it, but like...
That's the one with Crispin Glover where he gets a fucking knife right to the face.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, horror films have the reputation for spinning out into sequel territory to the point of absurdity.
Yeah, those are the ones, though, that I never got tired of their sequels.
Okay.
I even followed that guy into outer space. And I hated myself for doing it. But I did it. I followed Jason into outer space.
And we all have regrets.
Actually... that wasn't even my biggest sequel regret.
Oh, boy.
Night of the Demons has my sequel regret. There's two more of these movies.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How did this get greenlit for 2 more movies?
They went straight to video, Bolt. That was a thing back in the day.
Yeah.
Archaic ages.
It's like Mulan 2.
We don't talk about Mulan 2.
All the direct-to-video sequels.
We don't talk about live-action Mulan around here neither, but here you go.
Yeah, amen to that.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about that. And I vote we just keep briefly bringing things up and then saying we're not going to talk about them for the rest of the podcast.
All right. Fuck Siskel and Ebert.
We'll rename we'll rename the podcast The Non-Topics.
That sounds like a band. Like a really bad, boring band, but it sounds like a band nonetheless. The Non-Topics.
It's they play they play cerebral lo-fi, you know.
I listen to cerebral lo-fi. It's good. Anyways.
Well, there you go. Anyway, okay, Night of the Demons.
So yes,
what a trip.
Yep. Angela's having a party. Freddy's too scared to go, and Jason's too afraid to crash it. I'm dead set. That was a tagline for this movie when it came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on the tagline.
That's good. That's good.
Angela's having a party.
Movie does. This movie is, I think, very, very conscious of like the context that it exists in. You know, like it really kind of indulges in the tropes. You know, it's got everything. It's got the beautiful, maybe virgin girl who is, you know, like kind of not quite sure what her relationship with her boyfriend is or how far she wants to take it physically. And she has an annoying little brother. They really play that. Like, I don't like that kid. He's not even like annoying. He's just like he's just like a small jackass. He is not a likable character. But then again, when for a moment, this movie has multiple characters that are alternately honorable and dishonorable. This kid's one of those because he does come to his sister's defense and like defends her honor for a minute until the guy like raises his price to $1. Yeah.
Yeah,
so there's that.
My sister for a measly quarter. What does it look like? Some kind of depression?
For people who haven't seen this movie, we should probably give some context to that. So they're gonna go. So the girl and her boyfriend, they're gonna go to a party, and the little brother overhears where they're going. Now there's this sort of old boyfriend of this girl that wants to try to crash that party to try to like, you know, maybe rekindle something. And so the guy knocks on the door and the little brother answers. And the guy says, "I will give you a nickel if you tell me where that other party is." And the kid's like, "I'm not going to sell my sister out for a nickel. What do you think I am?" And, you know, it seems a little genuine, but then the guy like ups it up to $1 and the kid's like, whatever. So I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, you're probably too chicken shit to crash it anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, a whole house.
I was trying to think of the line. Yes.
And then the caricature of an Italian person is, "You better not be lying to me, punk. I'll come back here and kick your little ass."
I actually wondered about that. It's like, what is this accent doing in this movie? Do you know where this movie takes place? Does it specify?
It takes place in 88.
No, but where?
I think it's just supposed to be like some type of small town.
Okay.
It looks like
something like wherever Springfield is on the
Simpsons.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. From the looks of it, I would argue it's somewhere in the Midwest.
Yeah. It's supposed
Midwest,
to be.
It's California because there's a Japanese girl that's hanging out with them.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing about this movie that is very much like kind of 70s, 80s horror movie is that it takes place in either clearly the Midwest or something like the Midwest, like supposed to be sort of like suburban middle America, the sort of place where bad things don't happen.
Yeah, that's how I understood it. Like you're not supposed to think about it too deep as to where it takes place. But then you see like the group of people that they're hanging out with at this party. I'm like, all right, yeah, there's an Italian guy, an Asian girl, a black dude. This is pretty diverse for 1988. Not gonna lie.
I actually had that thought. Yeah. It was just
87.
Yeah.
87, 88 when it was released. It doesn't matter. Culture moved slower back in the day. I am the android Bolt from another planet.
At least I'm accurate.
All right, fine. 87. You good? We're happy? 87.
No.
The movie's
No.
older than me and Aquafina now. You happy?
Why did you point her out? Why you pointing at her?
Because she's an 88 baby. That's why. So you happy? Good.
No.
Sure
Why did you compare all of them?
Well, who the hell else do you know was born in 88, Bolt?
Give me a sec.
See, you have to think about it, right? She was the first one that came to mind.
No, what are these the old people, okay? Hey, it takes me a while.
Old people, okay? My name, look at me. By the way, this lady still looks like that for her age, believe it or not. I just looked her up right now. She was at a con in 2020, I think it is. And
yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
She doesn't look too bad. She's still hot. Good for you, lady. Jill Terashita.
Focus, pumpkin. Focus.
Good for you. Anyways, so back to the subject at hand. We were talking about the asshole kid before we got wandered off by the android again.
No, that was your fault that time.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
No. Okay. Yes. So kid's a jerk. What was I on about? Or was that my point?
The accent. Where was this taking place? So my argument is,
right, yeah.
I honestly think it probably takes place like either Midwest or California, because it's pretty warm where they're at. So I'm just gonna argue that's what it is there. And they have the idea that like the underground creek and the kids, like the settlers and all that stuff that's going on. But to discuss the film, let me just give you guys a quick overview. This one it's about a Halloween night party. These kids decide that their friend Angela, which is like the local creepy goth, who looks a lot like my ex-girlfriend, decides, hey, we're going to go host a party at this haunted house, something that she would have done. And we're all going to go party here. Because it's cool, it's creepy, and it's haunted. And, naturally so, the POC representation at first thinks this is a good idea because everybody's there. And then after a while, when he sees like, face is fucked up, I'm get the fuck out of here. He does the right thing. He's like, y'all can stay here, I'm out. Tries, but, it's too late at that point, right? But the idea is they go there, they go to this house, whole house, and the house is essentially haunted. And, it's not enough that the house is haunted, possessed, whatever it may be. They decide to do... How do I say this without being racist? Is there a way of saying this without being racist?
Can that be the name of the episode?
I'm about to go with that. Because I'm about to make so many commentaries about this. How do I say this?
Give you some time. I found out where this place was supposed to be located in the movie.
Where is it located? Okay, I can't get away from it. Fine. How do we be white without being? Let's do the whitest
where did
thing.
You say it was?
It's Chicago.
Chicago. Okay.
Yeah, let's be John Hughes white here for a minute, and let's do the whitest thing we could do in a house like this. Let's throw a seance and summon the dead.
To be fair, only one advocated for that. Everyone else is just like, let's just keep like dancing. Drinking and
there's enough of them there that they could have easily ignored her fucking Elvira ass and just kept on partying. But they decided to still go along with it anyway.
They were deferring to the host.
Hey man, I've been on this podcast for a while now. When people don't want to do what the host says, they just kind of go into business for themselves. And if I were sick, what is it like? They were like, what, 16, 15? They had licenses and free beer in the house and no one's paying attention to. I would be like, you know what? No, I'm not doing no seance. Turn the music back on. I'm going to get hammered. That's what that fucking big guy should have said my favorite line of the whole movie. Eat a bowl of fuck. I am here to party.
I literally wondered if I had heard him right. Did he just say eat a bowl of fuck? What does that even mean?
And those 5 minutes, it means stop this bullshit and let's go back to partying like normal people. What the fuck are we going to do? Start committing a demon out here. What's wrong with you?
That's the thing about fuck, though, is that it is every part of speech.
Mm-hmm. Dude, like it
doesn't need to make sense.
It just fits so well. It's like eat a bowl of fuck.
There's so many quotables from this movie. It's hilarious.
Oh no, I know I'm like talking shit, but let me be 100% razor straight with everybody. I love this movie. This movie has such a history with me that I remember when we first got DVDs, everybody stopped watching their VHS because we forgot it. It went by the wayside. To track this one down, it was the first time I heard of the unofficial DVD market, where like when a movie hadn't been ported yet to DVD and there was no intent for it to be ported to DVD, you had to go to these people to get your hands on it. Mm-hmm. But what was even more fascinating was my brother scored it on eBay from this market, and then years upon years later, right, we find out that the movie had not only not been released, they hadn't done anything with it because the rights were kicking around for years, and it had even almost been forgotten until we got a remake in like 2009 with Shannon Elizabeth. Big disappointing film. Really disappointing. Don't even bother. Fuck Ed Furlong. That's all I have to say. He had one good movie. And that was it. Fuck
another name to the list. Rad, put it down.
Ed Furlong?
Yeah, Ed Furlong. He tried to be a horror king in the late 80s, early 90s, and he sucks. His movies sucked. We don't talk about Pet Sematary 2 out here, all right? Just freaking, I want to talk about that. Mr. Krabs raping a lady. We don't talk about
what?
That. Yeah, it happened.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it happened. He came back as a corpse and gave a lady
Clancy
rough
Brown.
sex. Yeah, Clancy Brown came back as a corpse and had rough sex with some lady. It was just weird.
All right. Speaking of which,
he made
me use that as a segue.
Yeah, there's that as a segue. Fuck Ed Furlong.
Oh man.
You said use as a segue. How are we segueing? I'm curious.
I'm regretting this. I'm trying to figure out the best way to segue that.
Are we segueing to something, or do you simply want to segue away from this?
Yes.
Fine.
Okay.
I'll segue.
Yes.
We'll segue away from this. So, why I picked this movie for us to watch too was because, to me, this is the most accurate depiction of shit that goes on in Halloween back in the day. Like, you spend like at least 20, 30 minutes with them before the monsters start coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, they're hanging out on Halloween night. You're hanging out with them on Halloween night for like a good amount of time. From that guy's punk rock painted car, which you would never see nowadays, to him like pulling pranks on the old guy, to the kid being a douche pulling pranks on people with his creepy, stupid mask, and then the other guy pulling pranks on each other. Like, you're hanging out with them for quite some time, right?
Oh, to the girls playing pranks on the cashiers to steal food and supplies.
Yep.
Which I'm like, that's brilliant, but like, come on. Like, can you pay attention for like 5 seconds and notice that as a girl?
No, because I told you before. So, now that's a good segue. So, one of the complaints that Bolt had for me off air was, why is that kid staring at his sister's boobs? Like, why is he hiding in a closet staring at his sister's boobs?
That is another distasteful thing about the lad that I did not mention.
Yeah, no, he's a wretched little shit.
Commenting on his sister's breasts, my jeez.
You know what's annoying about that though? Is I remember like hearing a lot of stories as a little kid about kids that used to do that. It was gross, and I never understood why you would want to look at your sister's boobs. And like as I got older, somebody explained it to me, like, here's the problem back in the day. Like what? Like you're thinking about it like a millennial, where you have access to porn some type of way your whole life. Like, yes, that kid does not have access to porn. I'm like, so he goes, looks at his sister's boobs when I can do something better. He's like, I'm going to finish. I'm going to creep you out, but I'm going to finish. I'm like, okay. He goes, back in the day, it was uncommon. It wasn't uncommon for kids to do that because then they would just look at that, get an idea, and then fill in the blanks when looking at someone they actually did want to bang. I'm like, ew. They're like, yeah, well, You're 12. You can't just walk into a store and buy a nudie mag. You can't just walk into Blockbuster and rent a porno. Like, it's pretty much it. And those people look like they have no cable. So, you got to make do. I'm like, ew. The whole time I'm just like, ew. He's like, yeah, well, be thankful for your phone, which has hours upon hours of nudity on it. And be thankful for all of the black box stuff you could get as a kid. I'm like, ew. I don't want to think about this. This is gross. Yeah, well, it's a thing. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. But that's why people did that. In theory, after he told me that, I'm like, okay, but that makes sense now. Because the teenagers at that point, although they can't go buy it. So they are in a position where they can actually get laid. Which is what the majority of them were trying to do at Hull House. Which is why you would do something like that back in the day. Go party at an abandoned house that was once a mortuary. Which must stink. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Unfortunately. You get it now? Anybody?
I wish I did.
Yeah, I know. I wish I didn't either, but it is what it is.
Any of what we saw in that film.
So luckily, I don't have a sister, so I don't have to wrestle with any of this.
I have a sister, but I had no intention of ever doing that shit. But it's gross as shit.
I came from AI, so I don't have any sort of baggage in that area, thankfully.
That's where we pull out the AI excuse, huh? Right there.
Yeah. Exactly. I have a maker, and that's it.
Well, let me ask you guys about one thing. So, my favorite part is, actually, I won't say it's my favorite part, but one of my favorite things about the movie is just the opening credits. I love the cutout style animation. It's like Monty Python, but creepy, like still kind of wacky and in the cutout style, but still sets a nice sort of like half creepy, half funny tone that the rest of the movie is going to run with. Even just if you just pause it and just like look at the characters closely that are in that opening, like it's an interesting art style. They're these little skeletal paintings, and there's jack-o'-lanterns, there's like monstrous faces. It's just like it's some good artwork and some good animation.
Oh, I love the opening credits of this movie. Yeah. It's a very good. That's again why I picked this one for Halloween. It's an awesome movie to put on Halloween and just leave on in the background too. Like if you have a Halloween party, it's a really good one to just leave on in the background because there's so much Halloween imagery going on.
It's a vibe movie.
It is a very big vibe movie. I love it. Again, I'm talking shit, but I love this movie. Like
it's a movie that invites shit talking.
Yes, but that's the point. Like throughout the whole movie, if you're paying attention to these kids, like they're talking shit to each other, back and forth throughout the entire. They're not like none of them say anything nice to one another, the entire time they're in that house.
No.
But what was it? At least my mother wears panties. Your mom just has a thing on. So I'm like, damn, that's really hard. Your mother couldn't give it away. Please, nobody wanted that. No one paid for that. Your mother couldn't give it away.
Wow, that was. These are actually friends because someone's like.
Count Dingleberry, the flaming asswipe of Transylvania.
Stooge.
Poor Stooge. Yeah. That's another trope, is like the boyfriend and girlfriend that do nothing but yell abuses at each other for the whole movie, and you can't fathom why they're together.
But actually, were the two guys yelling? Was the guy and the girl yelling abuse at each other?
They just seem to hate each other.
What which couple?
Stooge and his girlfriend.
Oh yeah. My question was that his girlfriend?
No, it wasn't.
Pretty sure that
he seemed like he was happy when Angela was giving him the time of day.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that wasn't his girlfriend, because.
Oh well, I just assumed he was an asshole like this.
Oh no, I mean yes, but he wasn't the cheating asshole. He was just the comic relief asshole. There's too many assholes in this film. You had little shit asshole.
I'm surrounded by assholes.
Who else is an asshole? Sergeant, Sergeant.
You had the ex-lover asshole who decided to beat up a child over his sister. And
hey, that's how it went down back in the day. If you wanted information out of a kid, you first tried to bully him, and then you give him money, and then he does what he says. But even then, I like these kids are all assholes, but I liked the majority of them. Like, it was weird. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, but just they feel like real kids. Sit down with any set of teenagers for a few minutes. They're annoying. Teenagers are fucking annoying. I will not deny you if you say you hate teenagers. They're annoying. But they sound like these kids.
Like that old man who literally walks up, like he has a young girl trying to help him, and he calls her a
whore. Me, you damned little whore.
I'm like, what is this? Like, man, I rooted for the man, but still, like, I kind of felt bad too.
Ungrateful prick. That's what I said. Douche.
I'm sorry. Like, when a kid's being nice to you, you don't do that. Like, anybody trying to help you out with your bags, she saw you getting screwed over. But like, I repeat, I'm sitting there listening to them though, and I'm like, these people sound like real people. They sound like kids that sit down and talk shit at one another, and they're very like unapologetic about how they are. And even back to Angela and her friend, right? When they're in the grocery nailing things. Full disclosure, I remember hearing about kids doing shit like that all the time when I was growing up. Like, they would just do teenagers do the stupidest things, right? To do things that they're not supposed to be doing. I remember hearing my friends talk about on Halloween, they would go get drunk at the park, right? And watch people with the costumes. And what they would do is they can't buy liquor because they're in high school. Yeah, you got to be 21. They would go get a homeless guy to go into the liquor store and buy the liquor bottles for them. And they would just sit there all day long on Halloween drinking, listening to music on their shitty... Remember, like, back in high school, like, we didn't have the big speakers yet, right? Like the AUX yet. So some kids had like boom boxes, and they would connect the iPod to that, and they would listen to music in the park on Halloween and get drunk. And then that was like, I'm hearing that now looking at this movie. I'm like, yeah, that's not uncommon. Like, this, what she did is exaggerated, but it's not something that kids don't do. Whenever somebody says, oh, I was a Girl Scout, like, you're not a Boy Scout. Like, you're not. If you are, you're one of the few. But everybody else, they're doing stupid shit like these kids are. It's just rose-tinted glasses make everything seem fine. Mm-hmm. So what I liked about this one is it's a true sign of the times. Like, this is what it looked like. They were going and finding an abandoned house where they knew nobody was going to be bothering them to go throw a crazy party. And for the most part, you know, like, mission successful. That living room was a vibe, right? Like, they had that fireplace going. They had the music playing. They were dancing. They were partying. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was.
They were like, I'm sorry. This is going to sound stupid on my part, but I totally would have crashed that party at their age if it was the 80s. The hell am I doing? All right. Kids are done trick-or-treating. Parents are going to bed. Angela's throwing a party. I'm out. I'll catch you guys later. Eat a bowl of fuck. I am here to party. I fucking hate that character, but
I kind of wish that instead of going to this random abandoned mortuary, they should have just like did what they did there, but at their school dance and see what would happen. Like,
well, I heard kids used to do that back in the school dances too, but that's a good way to get yourself expelled.
Yeah,
that's a good way to get expelled, but you have to watch the sequel because that's what happens. So, either way, though, that this is like one of those movies that to me, it's like, this is what it was like back in the day, Halloween. These kids were just partying down, and it was innocent partying until they decide to be white, summon a demon instead of continuing the party.
Well, to be fair, the music got cut.
She cut it.
No, wait, no, the demon cut it. The demons cut it.
I remember like kids like, I just put batteries in this. Oh yeah, no, that demon killed the power. Then you just keep drinking. Like, what the hell? Why the hell do you have to go and be like, all right, everybody, the music isn't working anymore. Let's play a game. Have a seance on Halloween.
Okay, I think I would rather have a seance than drink in silence while people are awkwardly trying to hit on each other or having sex loudly in another room. That is not soundproof.
Sir, you're supposed to be the robot. Never mind.
Yes, and I choose death than hearing or experience any of that.
You know what?
Also, I can just escape.
Honestly. I don't know. I'm with the preacher's kid. Don't mess with stuff that ought not be messed with.
Damn straight. You know what? This is now another one where while we're here, we're gonna myth bust something. All black people die in horror movies. And then the other one that likes to make the rounds too. Shout out to LL Cool J for being the first black guy to survive a horror movie in Deep Blue Sea. No, you're wrong. Shout out to Raj, who was the most realistic black character I have ever seen in a fucking horror movie at any time. In comes Raj. I'm just partying with friends, get my drink on, put on a stupid pirate outfit. I should be fine. What's the worst that could happen? Got some weed, got some liquor. Go hang out. Probably gonna nail me a white woman tonight. Shouldn't be too bad. This girl's off. He probably thought like Shorty in fucking Scary Movie. Hey everybody, party at Angela's house. Drunk white women for everybody. Yay! Right? Pretty sure he thought. And then when he shows up and the party's going, like he's fine. He's like, all right, I might wind up banging either the one with the leaves on because this dude's treating her like shit, or that one in the pink tutu looks like she's ready to go. So there's a potential here. There's something going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Alice in Wonderland over there looks like she's miserable. Maybe she just needs herself some jungle love. It might be good. He's playing the room. He's fine. And then next thing you know, they start talking about a seance. He's like, no. Leave me alone, Stooge. Fuck off. Go away. Stooge. But it's true. And then we get to the situation where he's like, yeah, no, I'm out of here. He was the first one out. Like, yeah, I'm out of here. Difference was he didn't know he had already crossed the gate. He was fucked. And even then, he still didn't give up. The girl's like, we're dead, Raj. We've died and we've gone to hell. We just crossed over. He's like, shut up. Don't talk like that or I'm going to smack you. I will bust your shit. Don't you say we're dead. There is a gate here. We just got to find it. And
they wrapped around twice.
But she's like, we're screwed. He's like, we drove in. We had to find a way out. There has to be a way out of here. And even then, he decides, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to just hide in this car until sunup. I'm just hide in this car until sunup, and nobody's going to bother me until they threw the corpse at the car. He's like, fuck, I got to bail. Then you're out there.
Funny thing, it wasn't his idea to hide in the car. It was who made fun of him? They told him to go and sleep in the car. I mean, that was when the girl was still alive, though. Like he should have done that first before trying to look for an exit.
Well, you want to look for the exit first. Yeah, you want to get the exit. What are you? The people in Dead by Daylight that hide in the fucking closet while everybody else does the generators and you bail, or you just wait for the hatch to appear?
They always get found out in the end, so that doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's gonna happen. What happened to him. He got found out. They threw the dead corpse at his car.
He should at least, try to get with the girl in the jungle leaves. Which I'm like, what? Is this like Discount Tinkerbell? Whatever.
No, Discount Tinkerbell was the Asian lady.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought she was in a night.
No, she was like in a Peter Pan. She was like in a Peter Pan Tinkerbell outfit.
Yeah.
But once again, though, like I'm pretty sure if Raj played his cards right, he could have gotten her away from that wimpy ass guy that she was with. No, that's what I probably would have tried doing that night. That girl was hot as shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Back to where I was before, though. Where I get distracted by that. Who has
the whole running water thing?
Who has sex in a coffin? That's all
I look, like you said, you literally just explained how teenagers are stupid.
Yeah. Well, you gotta get it. But still,
Oh
coffin.
man.
No.
Look, if they were in college, I would get it. I would get it. It would make more sense if they were a college age. But teenagers, like, you have cars.
Well, no, he did have a car. Remember, that's what the V Dub was, and it's just tighter than my brother's V Dub.
Oh my goodness.
But either way, though, like, back to Raj, most realistic character of all time. I'm sorry, like, I between the three of us here, who's gonna stand up and fight Demon Stooge?
Well, Raj did, kind of.
Raj bailed.
He facilitated, like, when he had no choice. By the way, just to clarify, when he had no choice, he assisted in turning off the gas. You know what? Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah. He was valid. He was smart. I mean, he if he was really smart, he would have not even gone to the house. He should have left after the music.
He was smart because he went to the house to try to get laid. However, he was not smart. It's not his fault.
Get laid.
It's not his fault that some shit that you weren't expecting to happen happened. There. That's all I'm gonna say. You didn't know how the hell. What are the odds that that's the one night that demons come back to the earth?
Halloween.
Well, how many Halloween parties you go to with there's fucking demons? I've been to a couple Halloween parties, no demons.
That is the explanation for why there are demons. Because it's Halloween. You know, we talked about this last week.
And they all knew.
The barrier between the seen and unseen world is thinner. So,
which is weird because they all believe the same stuff. And when it came to that,
and yet they still do. Yes.
So I'm like, I can't feel bad for these children. Like, you know what? Same lesson from last week. Fuck them kids.
Fuck the kids.
Yeah, no, the old man was right in the beginning of the film.
Of the many movies that this film reminds me of, one of them is Evil Dead.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me a bit of Evil Dead, because it is. I mean, it's not exactly the same setup, but it's kind of similar. You know, you've got a bunch of young people coming together into a fairly remote house, and there are demons afoot. And but one interesting aspect that it shares with Evil Dead is kind of like the way that possession is portrayed, in that you see the person is possessed, and then you see their face normal in one shot, and then in a different shot it like just turns into a demon face, and they're able to go back and forth between like looking like someone who is possessed and looking like someone who is normal but is kind of acting weird. Like that sort of technique is something that it shares.
You know, now that you touch on that, what did you think about Angela's transformation?
I am still trying to come to terms with why at the 46-minute mark did I had to be subjected to that weird epileptic dance. That right. is, there was no warning. Like, I feel bad for the people that had to suffer through that. Like, and that was the end result of it. Just like, you just have like the ex asshole bully boyfriend just sitting there. Just
first off, I would have probably been in his shoes, because there's not like the party's winding down and he got turned down by the blondie to go off with the fat dude. So I probably would have been stuck there with the fucking frizzly haired goth chick. And you know, like, again, you gotta play your cards, right? Like, the other lady left, who was kind of normal. The other one got taken off with a fat guy. The other two are paired off, so it's down to you and the chick. And she did not seem very, very talkative, right? She's kind of like in her corner. So at that point, he's just having a beer, and he's like, all right, how the hell am I going to get home eventually?
But his main mission was to get his old fling back.
Yeah, but mission failed. He's there with that lady, and then like she starts dancing, and it's really
that dancing.
Well, yeah, because she starts like morphing around the room and shit.
was contorting herself somewhat. I'm just like, what is this? This is like.
Well, that was in a movie where like, you know, the production quality is kind of a bit hit or miss. Like that was a really, really well done scene.
I
like
liked
that dancing is actually very impressive. She's that actress must have been a professional dancer or something. She was really good.
Amelia Kincaid. Yeah. That's her name. Amelia Kincaid.
Amelia Kincaid. Yeah. Hell of a job there, Amelia.
So what's funny about her, to my understanding, is that she did know a bit of dancing and stuff before she went ahead and did this movie. Like she did do ballet and all that good stuff beforehand. And this was like one of the chances she had to be able to pull it. What was also funny was everybody else who auditioned for it tried to be like the best way I can describe it is everyone went in there trying to be Wednesday Addams, right? And she went in and she was actually a very happy person. And when they did it, they're like, good, you're happy, you're cheerful, and you're very flirty and you're enjoying this. Like, you're actually the thing we need. You're a realistic goth girl. You're not, hi, I'm fake Aubrey Plaza for the day. I speak to you like this because I don't like you. Yeah. And I also just let you know that Wednesday Jenna Ortega is my whole personality. Like, she didn't go in with that attitude. She went in with like a very sort of upbeat, I want to fuck with you attitude, which is the same attitude that Angela has the whole time. Like, she's mischievous, but she's not evil. You know, like it's even funnier to me that she was also kind of in favor of everybody getting the hell out after she did what she did. But it was
because this wasn't part of her plan. Like she's a goth girl that just sort of likes the aesthetics of gothiness. Like she likes the dark clothes and the makeup, and she seems to like the idea of doing a seance, but she didn't expect anything to actually happen. So she's as surprised as everybody else.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know how to put it in a very like direct. I don't know how to put this, but she's someone that. She's my classmate. Like, I knew girls like this growing up. Mm-hmm. I knew girls like this even well into my adult years, where like they're not really bad people. They just like messing with people. And the whole time she's talking about it, she's like, "You made sure to invite some cute boys, right?" She's like, "Yeah, and we're gonna scare the shit out of them." Like that's what she was looking for. She wasn't looking for, "Oh yeah, we're actually gonna scare, kill, and hurt anybody." She's like, "Yeah, we need to get out of here. We fucked up, but we need to go." And at that point, it was too late. Like, the best friend pulled her in. Like, it's over.
Well, the thing is, like, it's not that, like, they fucked up. It's like she fucked up.
She fucked up at that point. Like, she didn't, like, at that point, she was past the point of no return when she regretted what she did. She wasn't, like, encouraging people to stay there. She wasn't encouraging anybody to, like, do anything they didn't want to do. She was more so at that point saying, like, we need to get out of here. You know, like, this is a house possessed, not a haunted house. That means that this has never been human. This is a demonic entity that's possessing this house. We need to go. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, like, it's too late. They already got Blondie. And Blondie, the first thing she did was get Angela. And that was it. Like, game over. Because Angela was the host of the party. But I point out, when she starts her dancing, what I liked was she's doing everything all weird, and that guy's kind of having a legit reaction. None of us are going to sit here and be like, we'd be staring and be fascinated by what she's doing. I think we'd all be weirded out if she started teleporting around the room and we're like there in the corner with our beer, like, yo. His look was like, oh, shit. And even then, he's not a douchebag 100%, because when Stooge shows up, he's like, hey, man, watch out. She's being really fucking weird. She's being really fucking weird. It's like, come on, Sal. Didn't your mama tell you? It's not the crazy ones you got to be careful of.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude, you're going to.
I was like, that. Oh, wait. Are there men whose mothers sat them down and told them all about the different kinds of women?
Yeah, there definitely are. But like, the funny thing is, he wasn't wrong. It's just that he was wrong in this particular moment.
He was wrong about Angela. That's what he was wrong. Like, oh no! I was like, no, Stooge, no.
But here's the thing: he could have avoided that because he already avoided one potential death scenario when what was her face teleported out of the bathroom after breaking the glass with her head.
Come on, bitch! You fall in the fucking toilet.
Oh man,
that character is the most quotable one.
Yeah, because it definitely wasn't gonna be what's her face, Judy. Judy, I'm like, what were her lines? I'm just like, I couldn't wait for her to stop talking. But she did get a laugh out of me when she shoved what was it, Jay off of her.
Yeah,
I'm just like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's realistic. That is super realistic. And it's like, wait, you just accused me of you tried to slut shame me, and then you just basically just saying that you're using me for my body. Get the hell off me.
Yeah, but then she was still calling out to him afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, he locked her in the room somehow.
Jay, dude, you really don't want that guy to come back and rescue you. He's gonna put you in a corner because he knows you're gonna be afraid because of the implication. Like, that's the vibe I got from that guy. Like, well, she's not gonna say no because of the implication.
But it's a good thing we never had to see that fruition because oh man, he got used for a nice joke later on.
So, do we want to talk about Angela's best friend?
Angela's best friend,
Suzanne.
She's played by Linnea Quigley.
Okay.
So, one effect that I give a lot of credit to this movie, which I've gotten in trouble for this because I've like stared at the screen trying to figure this one out. The booby trick.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. How she do the magic trick? The magic trick where she shoves the lipstick
into her, and she's like boom, nipple. And then it goes like right around the boobie, and then boom, right, like right into the nipple, and I'm like
right into the nipple. Like I feel like that's something they picked up from Penn and Teller or something, because it didn't even look like it. It looked like it just like vanished into the nipple. Like it didn't even. It didn't even look like it penetrated anything. It just.
Yeah, it was so weird. It looked like, how do I put it? It looked like it went in and then it disappeared. And I remember being a kid, like when I would see that one, I actually stopped and stared at that effect. And then one time I think my mom walked in and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, the thing is, like, because I didn't get shocked, I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how they did this.
Yeah. And you would read Playboy for the articles. Okay.
I was like, yeah, that's it. She didn't believe me, but then like my dad's like trying to figure out the effect, huh? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, me too. He's like, there's a flap. My dad actually goes like, there's a flap right there. You pay close.
And a nerd is born. A nerd is born. There's a topless scene, and he's trying to figure out the special effects.
Well, because it's rubber. Like, I'm sorry, like, that movie's full of boner deflator moments. Like, especially this lady, like, she's like the queen deflator of boners.
I mean...
No one deflates a good boner like Suzanne does. Let's be real
here. She did make one of the two most unexpected necrophilia orgy jokes in this film.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
if
okay,
I did not see that coming.
Where's it?
Get him hard again.
That sounds like a Cards Against Humanity card. Poorly timed necrophilia jokes.
Honestly, yeah, it really was.
I bet if we try real hard, we can get Jay hard again. How about an orgy? Sorry. I love this movie. I can quote so many fucking times and nobody's ever going to get my reference.
How about an orgy? Isn't that how all orgies start?
Yep.
I say, it's a fine day for an orgy.
Quiet.
What do you say, Higgins?
Not on Halloween. Never on Halloween night.
But Halloween is the best night for an orgy, Bolt, because it's everybody Like that Simpsons song. It's time to get up for adult Halloween.
I need to have a counter every time you
I
guys
watched that
mention
episode the other
Simpsons.
day.
I love that episode. That's like my favorite official. That's their official Halloween episode. The other ones are Tree Houses of Horror, but that's a real episode for them celebrating Halloween.
And it's season 27.
Yep. That was one of my favorite of all time episodes. We're in the house, stupid. I forgot to pay the phone bill.
Skippers.
You know, I actually started shouting that at people after that episode.
So we're gonna be. My wife and I are actually going to be traveling on Halloween. So we're going to be skippers.
Where are you traveling to on Halloween, sir?
We are traveling to New York.
The Long Island area, sir?
Yes.
So you're just playing into all the stereotypes.
If you don't wish to be a skipper, sir, we can go get drunk and just throw paint on your face for the night and call it a day.
You know, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah,
we'll talk off air about this.
Yes, we will.
Yes, yeah.
Everything should be wrapped up by then.
I'll meet you in the green room.
Yes, in the green room. Yes. Bullets welcome in the green room as well. Yes. But anyway, you know what we should do? We should go to an abandoned house in Suffolk County, and what we should do is play a game where we all go there and sit in front of the mirror, and we just do some stuff, and we summon a demon. That should be some fun. This movie showed me that that's a lot of fun.
We have plenty demons to choose from. We can have the bee man demon. We can have the dead girl with the blood coming out of her eyes demon. Like, we have a variety. Like, you gotta be more specific. Which demon you want to summon?
No. Summon any of them. Why not have them all come in and it'll be a real monster match?
Pick one out of your pack of demon cards. Okay. What about the monster mash?
We can have them all come over and it'll be a big old monster mash.
Okay.
We could book the Coffin Bangers and the Crypt Kicker 5.
Damn straight. Yeah. You know what? That was actually the perfect theme for this movie, and they didn't take advantage of it.
Coffin Banger.
Because Lord knows that guy and that Japanese chick were having a fucking graveyard smash in the mortuary room.
Well, if you take a moment to look at chat, we lost a viewer when you mentioned abandoned house.
We lost a viewer?
Oh, yeah, here we go. Moment he said abandoned house, he lost me. You know what, just a viewer? It's okay. We will recalculate, and you can try. We'll recalibrate in the green room. Everybody say it together. In the green room.
In the green room.
In the green room. So, yes. But, you know what? I'm sorry. We've kind of glossed over all of them becoming demons because I'll be real with you. I still like the makeup that they used on all of them being demons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a strong technical aspect of the movie. The makeup's good.
Yeah, especially Angela's makeup. I still like that makeup design to this day. Mm-hmm. And then like the more messed up she gets, like they don't do the cheap cop out, right? Like when someone gets injured in a horror movie, right? And then like they just heal them up a little while later and it looks like it's all okay. She's getting progressively more busted up as the movie goes. Like when they burn her, they keep the burn scars.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like they kept all that stuff going. The one that I was also the one I got disappointed with, but I guess it's because he's more of a tragic death than he is like the other guys where they had it coming. Sal's demonic form to me was a little underwhelming. When you see him finally like undead.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because he's just kind of sad, pale with the thing sticking out of his chest. I'm like, come on, man, like morph a little bit. Like,
well, him and Jay kind of had underwhelming demonic transformation.
But at least Jay, though, he has the sort of holes in his eyes and it's swollen and the tears are coming out. But Sal's just white with like the thing coming out of his chest. Which again, the chest the chest thing is cool, but I felt like it could have been cooler. That's just me. I'm being a snob, but I'll be honest with you. I probably would have gone out the way Sal went out, which is like, hey, try to push this lady into safety. But I most likely would have survived the way Raj did, which is like, gotta bail. Like, I have to go back to Raj. That dude bolted at every single opportunity he got. Like, if you're going to take a playbook in life and how to survive a horror movie, you got to take from the playbook of Raj. You got to take it from that playbook. There's no other way around it. You got to take it from the playbook of Raj.
He survived, and not by accident. He deserved to survive.
Yep.
He even went back to save someone and didn't die for it. That is a rare feat.
My favorite. Sorry, go for it.
Appropriate amounts of courage from Raj.
You know what my favorite part was? When they're running around and she's like, we have to find the gate. The gate's like, nah, the gate's not here. We got to get out of here. And then he finds, oh, come on, go. And then like she puts her hands on the bar like, ow!
So he kept calling her girl and woman. I was waiting for him to just lose it and say bitch.
He had every right.
He's a pastor's son. He's a pastor's son. You don't talk that way.
Oh, okay. Hold on. No, speaking as a pastor's son, I will let you know that is very much in our vocabulary.
Oh, yeah. I think you're more likely, like, as a pastor's son, you're more likely to curse than anything.
I'll be honest with you. I was waiting for him. Move, bitch.
Yeah.
But you know what? He doesn't need to say it. It's there when she grabs the barbed wire. He's like, ow! He's like, move!
No, sometimes woman is actually worse than bitch. So it's just...
How? You're acknowledging that they are not a girl, but like,
it's
you
just
know.
Like,
it's the way it's delivered. Woman!
Like the tone. Like, come on, woman!
It's like, you're so stupid because you're a woman. That's kind of how
right,
it's implied.
Exactly. Yeah. But bitch is like, you know, it's a throwaway word.
Yeah, I could call anybody a bitch.
Call anybody a bitch.
Yeah, you call anybody a bitch. I call people.
No,
I call men a bitch all the time.
Oh, that's different. Like, I'm saying, as a man yelling at a woman when you're in a life or death situation, I don't think they will take too kindly to.
You know what? In a life or death situation, I think being called a bitch is the least of your problems.
That's exactly. Yeah. It's like the monster's right behind us. Move, bitch! Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Hold on. Everybody stop. Hold.
That's like a Family Guy sketch right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You shouldn't use that kind of word. It's derogatory towards a woman. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Those Stooge has been calling a woman bitch all night. That guy kept calling every woman he saw bitch over and over and over.
He died in a terrible way.
Maybe that's a rule. Maybe that's a rule. You say bitch, you die.
Well, I think no. There's a limit. There's a limit. I think if you hit that limit, that's when you die.
What is it? Move, bitch! I think the first time you see Stooge, he's like, "Give me the map, bitch!" Or something like that. I'm like, "Whoa, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?"
I don't know. That wasn't the first time you see him. Like, he's basically trying to prepare to moon the old man for no good reason, just because it's for fun. While yelling at her to take the wheel randomly while they're driving. I'm like, how is this safe? Luckily, they're only going 20 miles an hour.
Wasn't he drinking too?
Yeah, but we don't talk about that.
He was drinking, right? They were all drinking in the car and driving.
Yeah, well, I don't think the girl was. She was just, she was too busy getting yelled at.
My question is, what the hell is Raj doing hanging out with that guy?
That, you say all these good things about him, but then you bring up that. I'm like, Raj, buddy, I'm going to take some points away from you.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing hanging out with him?
He's a good guy, but perhaps he's a poor judge of character.
Yeah, like, that's the one. I'm like, what the hell are you doing hanging out with that guy? Like, it's Halloween. Like, don't. All right, like, take it from this. We knew our friend who we knew that's no longer with us. I'm pretty sure if we would have been in that situation, we're like, I'll just open up the hall, call it a day. We don't need to go to a haunted house and get hammered. Just go do it somewhere else. Why the hell are you going to a party at Hull House and hanging out with that guy? Do you really need
After your
friends that bad? Like, you're hanging out with that guy? He's like, you really are a stooge. Shut up and start walking.
So our friend was the perfect person to hang out with on Halloween. He's the one that took me to the party at the Amityville Horror House.
Yeah, dick. I wish he didn't tell me about that part. I would have loved to have gone to that one.
It was a while ago. That was before you came on the scene.
Yeah, I know. But he never talked about it, dick.
He was sparing you the FOMO.
What
Perhaps.
FOMO? I would have loved to have gone to that house and used the bragging credit.
Now you're regretting it.
Yes, I am regretting it. But
that's the FOMO.
But it still is like one of those things, right? Like, why the hell are you hanging out with this guy, Raj? Like, seriously. But I get it, right? Like, maybe he was just around for the party or whatever, and Stooge is just a weirdo, and it's probably easier for him to just hang out with this guy because fuck you, Dad. But I'm still confused. Like, why of all the kids are you hanging out with Raj?
Like, I would have understood if he hung out with what's his face, Sal. That of all the guys there, that would have made the most sense. Like, he just hanging around with him, just out of pity as he's trying to get back with a girl that clearly doesn't want to be with him. Unless it was like, oh, my so-called date, just died after cheating on me. I'll take you back.
She didn't even take him back. She just felt bad he died.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sal's
at least
most likely
Jay
the one who
died.
spread the rumors about them banging.
Yeah, but you know what? At least Jay went out on a good note by making himself like servicing for a punchline. I never seen the joke blind date used like that, and I'm like, yay! Something good came out of this guy.
We did, yes. Those are some punny demons.
What's the matter, Jay? What's the matter? Judy didn't like your blind date. Oh, man. Another question I wanted to ask you guys, if maybe you noticed it. Did you guys notice that Angela's the only one that really speaks in the demon voice throughout the whole movie?
I did not notice that.
Oh, what about Suzanne?
No, she speaks in normal voice.
Even when she's got the demon face?
Well, I guess like this. No, wait, because the only time she says something, it's kind of like the same as when Angela does it. Stop looking at me.
Yeah, I get those two were the only ones that spoke in demon. And Suzanne had the most transformations. Like, she had like a normal demon face and then a frog bloated demon face.
What would you guys have done if you were in Jay's shoes?
Demon face. They call it RDF, resting demon face.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
What would you guys have done if you were in Jay's shoes when he was underneath that chick? Brace for impact at that point, huh?
I mean, he tried and he got his eyes crushed.
He tried to
See,
wrestle it off.
that's why I wear glasses in case I'm ever in that situation.
That's even worse. You're gonna have shards of glass.
Hey, I got some strong specs, buddy.
Are they demon proof? I don't think they're demon proof.
Look on the arm here. See, demon proof.
Yep.
From Ray-Ban.
That's in Latin.
Okay. I'm UV light proof, blue light proof, demon proof. I got the trifecta.
Good sir. I'm pretty sure you need to get that checked out. Otherwise, you might want to get your money back. I mean, you could try it out on Halloween and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, insurance didn't cover it, so I'm a little sore about that. But
so,
man, oh man.
Speaking of insurance and eyes,
I like your segue.
There was something I had to just ask with you guys with this one too.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys ever have an abandoned house wherever you guys lived? Like when you were growing up, like if you know anybody who knows anybody that had like an abandoned creepy house in their towns, that was a real thing.
There was so there's the famous house in Amityville, but it was not the creepiest looking house in Amityville, not by a long shot. There was this one house that it looked like it was kind of out of time, like it really stood out from the rest of the houses. It was like all the paint had peeled off, and so it like looked like it was made of wood. And they kept a lot of antiques on the porch, like antique chairs, like all sorts of antique furniture. It just looks, for some reason, agedness can be scary. I'm not quite sure why, but this house was like, it looked like a set team had gone onto the property with the assignment of make this house look old and creepy. Was really it was really interesting. And plus, like, at Halloween time when the leaves are falling off the trees, you sometimes had like the bare branches of the trees hanging over it, so it just looked like a picture perfect creepy house. It was, yeah, it was not abandoned though. I do believe people lived there, but it looked it looked abandoned.
Sounds like a crack house.
Yeah, that sounds like a crack house.
Crack house.
Sounds like that. I'm sorry, that's deteriorating.
It's like Full House, but even more full.
Whatever happened to the bendability? Tyrone Bigum's outside this house. But oh man. So to close out, I actually did want to ask you guys one final thing with this one. Because I'm actually curious. I tend to ask this to anybody else I showed this movie to when they watch it. Of all the effects and all these other things, if there's one thing you could switch out or put into this one, what would it be?
You mean like a scene or
anything? And this one's like, there's a lot of stuff to pull and pick from this one, but most people I always ask, they always have one or two things that they're like, I would have tweaked this for X reason.
Yeah. It's an imperfect movie that kind of lends itself to unsolicited suggestions.
Mm-hmm. I'll start this one, and you're gonna hate me for this one. Suzanne's lipstick magic trick. Take it out. It was great. It was, great for the time, like how it was done. Did not need to be in the movie. It did not need. Just take it out. It's wasted. Mm-hmm. I love it with so many questions than answers.
Someone just doesn't like looking at boobies. Gotcha.
Sure, if that's your takeaway from it.
Well, I mean, we could do that, but we could also take away the scene from the coffin with the lady nude. Although I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That was. I want to take out the part where he's trying to crush his arm off, because it looked a bit silly. All right, no, you got us here. What do you do in that situation? You're there you're boning what is essentially going to be the hottest woman you've ever boned in your life. You're in the coffin. You got to make do with what you got. And then this freaking weird, large white gorilla guy comes charging at you and breaks her neck on top of you. What are you going to do? That woman, I think, was at least $150 in weight. She's a dead weight now on top of him, and she's got his Johnson underneath her. She's crushed. What do you do? Other than to beg at this point, because you have to wrestle her off and then wrestle the other guy off while naked.
He was begging while this was all happening.
All you can do is beg. What else can you do? Although the one thing I would have done is put my arm inside the coffin that are holding on to his fat belly at that point. What do you do? Anybody who's out there who's had experience of banging in a coffin before and this guy charges at you, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. He's got you. He's got you by the balls, literally. Well,
he didn't have her by the balls, but
It's over. There's no defending that one. There's nowhere to go. It's like poor Joe Grizzly. They caught him in the bath stall. Like, it's over. Where are you going after this? There's nowhere to go. At least Joe Grizzly was on his feet. This guy's like has a chick on top of him who got her neck snapped. Like, oh crap. What am I gonna do? Where do you go? It's over. That's a losing fight.
Well, no, a fight implies you had a chance. You're saying explicitly he had no chance.
Even if he gets in there, like, all right, I'm gonna fight for my girl's honor, and the fucking Chicago song comes out. What's gonna happen? He has to wrestle her off of him first, get out of the coffin without any pants on, and then be like, all right, 200-pound Scrooge, let's go. Boom.
All right, John, answer the question. What did you do?
Rid of the stupid little brother.
Well, okay, you're reaching with offenses. Okay,
take him out. Get rid of him. I want him gone. Not really though, because he kind of is an aspect of the movie. And the thing with horror movies is that there are things that you don't enjoy, but you do enjoy on a certain level.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I enjoy watching Jason Voorhees' mother's head get chopped off in Friday the 13th, but I mean, on a certain level, I do. So that's sort of the thing with horror movies, is that there are moments that you have mixed feelings about. So I have mixed feelings about the little brother, but predominantly I want him gone, and yet I don't. So little shit.
Should I say it? Should I say the phrase? Like, this is the second week in a row.
What's the phrase?
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. Yep. I would fight that child. It's a child I would fight. Maybe that's the name of the episode. A child I would fight.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you know what? We all have that one kid we would fight. We all do. You ever seen the movie Liar Liar? Jim Carrey?
Uh-huh.
I fucking hate the kid that played his son. He was in those Home Alone. He was in the third Home Alone movie. If I could go back in time now, my 35-year-old body, I'd still go back and hit him across the goddamn face. I hate that kid. I hated him in everything he came out in, from Boys Meets World to Home Alone 3 to Liar Liar. Fuck me.
Wait, Boy Meets World? Wait.
Yeah, he was in an episode of Boy Meets World.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to even bother looking that one up.
Yeah, don't bother, because I hate that kid. But yeah, I admit it. I'd beat him up. Would you?
I don't. I mean, I haven't seen with the kid. I don't think I've seen the kid, but I feel like I probably know of him. But
I don't need to see Home Alone 3 to have something against everyone that was involved in that production.
Wow. Okay. All right. So Red made his mark on the board by adding a whole production team.
The whole production team of Home Alone 3.
Yes. Yeah, actually, he's right to do that. And I'm also going to further, the movie Bushwhacked was supposed to be a fucking spin-off of Home Alone, and we didn't get that. So, fuck the people who did Home Alone 3 and fuck that kid. On that note, the reason why is, like, I've got a lot of people, the reason why I ask you guys that question was that I've shown this movie to a few people over the years, and everybody always gives me a different answer. One person actually said they would have gladly eliminated the little brother and eliminated the plot with the old people, because that plot just absolutely made no sense.
Yeah, that was kind of, I don't know, like an attempt at a sort of like clever, surprising ending to the movie. But it's just sort of like, well, we don't really know anything about their relationship. I feel like it would have been stronger if we had at the beginning shown them interacting. Like the setup at the beginning is this guy is an asshole.
Yeah.
Like there's kids bullying him, but he's still an asshole. Like you don't get to talk to that girl like that just because some other kids messed with you. So you already don't like him. but we don't. I think that if they wanted to like make the ending a true callback to that opening, then we should have seen him like being a dick to his wife.
Yeah, like you know what I thought was gonna be the deal with this guy. I honestly thought he was going to be like one of the members of the house or the owners of the house or the family. Like I thought he was gonna be possibly like Old Man Hull or something, but
Yeah.
nothing comes of it. He's just some dude, and I'm like, all right, why are you mad and killing kids? No reason. Excuse me. That guy legit takes on the term "fuck them kids" for no reason. Like I'm sorry, like two kids were assholes to you within a moment. And I'll be honest with you, if a fat kid mooned me with his jack-o'-lantern ass underwear, I think I would have just started laughing. Like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even a true mooning. It was just the underwear.
Yeah, it's just showing him the underwear. Like, if he had showed him his
Thank
dick and
goodness.
balls, I would have been a bit more outraged. But he didn't even do that. He just showed him his underwear. Like, there's no need for you to be in a foul mood after that.
In academic circles, we call that a pseudo mooning.
Yeah, it's a pseudo mooning. You want to know someone who should be in a bad mood dealing in that area? The guys who arrested Chris Chan. I would have been in a bad mood after being the guys who had to go pick up Chris Chan from the hotel after he fucked his mother.
All right, we've gone on too long. We're spiraling. We went way over time. Now we're spiraling. Okay. Close us out now.
Let's wrap it up.
All right. So, final thoughts. Night of the Demons.
It's nuts. Also, just as another word, so Night of the Demon or some variation on that seems to be a very common title for horror films. Yeah. So this is a movie that I have seen. It's according to Wikipedia, it's 1957, but it's a British film about an American psychologist investigating a cult in England. It's considered a classic. Actually, Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell is sort of based on it. Yeah. And there's another movie called Night of the Demon that is a 1980 Bigfoot horror movie.
I love those.
Yeah. Oh no, Bigfoot horror is fun.
Yeah, it's one of the best types of horror, Bigfoot horror.
Yeah.
You're saying that you have a bias for Bigfoot.
No, you know what? You should listen to the Legend of Boggy Creek. It's actually like a PG Disney. It's a Disney filmed mockumentary horror film about Bigfoot, and it's like one of the weirdest movies of all time. But it's great.
It was a hit too.
It was, and it's a Disney movie. Yeah. See, Disney Plus, bring that to your goddamn network. We don't need any more Star Wars or Agatha, whatever the hell stupid witch show you're gonna do this week.
Yeah, it's not smiling. It's not smiling.
Give me more Legend of Boggy Creek and bring back Night of the Demons.
Anyway, next week we will cover every movie called Night of the Demon or some variation on that.
No.
Yep. All right, that's what we're gonna do. Bolt, what are your final thoughts on this movie?
I'm alive.
What?
Roger's weirdest, funniest line in that film. He decided to jump one of his many escape attempts. He decided to jump out of a window.
You won't get me.
That he was gonna make it, and he was so surprised. And I thought in that moment, that's when he dies. Nope, he lives. I'm like, let's go, Raj. Let's go.
You know what though? Would you guys have been mad at him if he would have not gone back to rescue Judy?
No.
Red, would you have been mad had he not gone back to rescue Judy?
A little bit, but I, would have understood why.
I mean, she was being annoying, man. Like, he climbed up that shit in 2 hits. Like, all right, I want to live. Fuck this.
Well, and it's like, if you're annoying, you don't get to survive the movie. Sorry.
Yeah, she was incidentally surviving this movie. And be really she's just somehow kept getting lucky that people kept sacrificing themselves to save her dumbass. Particularly Sal sacrificed himself twice. Because Sal told her to run, he got thrown out a window. Sal came and tackled Angela and saved her ass again.
Temporarily.
Yeah, that's the thing though. She survived all those times because he kept sacrificing himself, and then Raj was like, "Run!" every 2 minutes. She was like, and you know what? I'm gonna make a reference here. She was like a noob in Dead by Daylight that you have to keep carrying along.
Wow,
that's what she was like. Yes, she was. She's that bad. You know, like when you get one of the first time you get an idiot in Dead by Daylight and they're doing everything they're not supposed to be doing. That's what she was doing. She was running.
He came up with the idea with the flamethrower all on her own. Raj didn't do that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I did. Do the people that are the first timers on Dead by Daylight not escape once in a blue? They escape.
Well, it's not as like in comparison to her. I think she would have a better chance than them.
No, she wouldn't. She made it because Raj went back for her ass. That's the reality of life.
I'm saying if you were in her lobby.
If I were in her lobby, I'd do what I do all the time. Mm-hmm. You know exactly what I do all the time.
Play copyrighted music. All right.
Play copyrighted music and leave people for dead. And on that note, I'm Pumpkin Jack.
Woo! See you later, everybody. This is Red saying bye.
This is Bolt bolting through the window.
Haha.